And they're chasers. And also with chasers, they can't hold a normal conversation with you. What they'll do is they'll compliment you with how beautiful you are till you get uncomfortable. And they'll start asking you how big things are. Hit that intro. What's up, my royal priesthood? It's your girl, Priestess. Welcome to another episode of Priestess After Dark here on Conversations with the Priestess. I pray that your week has been well, and I pray that great things have happened for you this week. If you've had a rough week, I'm sending love and positivity and brightness to you, and I pray that you have all of the support that you need, and I'm thankful for support. The last couple of weeks have been interesting, not too bad. My body is getting adjusted to the seasons changing and the demands of the latter quarter of the year with life. So your girl has been busy. But the strain that has been carrying me through has been strawberry mango haze. It's a nice sativa dominant strain, 70% sativa, 30% indica. It gives you a great feeling, very heady, light feeling. It gives you a nice euphoric feeling, relaxing, and it's helped me as I've dealt with depression, and of course, take my regular medications and do what I need to do for me. And that has included finding a suitable bedtime because I will stay up late editing podcast episodes, editing videos. So I've really had to adjust my schedule where I can record and then edit and, make sure that I'm doing music on top of everything. And it's been a great strain, I must add. It's also have helped me during this busy season and navigating the apps. Right now, with the where I'm at in life, with life being busy, and my partner also traveling for her job, we've been mainly meeting during the week and on the weekends, spending time together, um, and of course, doing sexy adult things. And, of course, as couples, even if you're non monogamous, even if you're monogamous, however your setup is, there comes time when gets busy. And you and your partner may not be as sexually intertwined. And for those of us who are polyamorous or non monogamous, we may want to link up with other people in our triad, in our polycule, in our triad, and whatever we have. Um, and then, sometimes you may just want to be comfortable dealing with just your mates or your specific regular partners. While I have been looking for another friends with benefits, it's been kind of frustrating navigating, particularly on the apps, because you run into all sorts of characters on the apps. And some of these characters are just interesting indeed. Uh, and it's been frustrating because people don't know how to communicate, or people are just rude and ruthless. One of the characters, the first character that I'm going to describe to you is what I refer to as a young lad. A young lad is between the ages of 25 and 29. Some of their frontal lobes have not yet developed yet. Some of their frontal lobes have. It is what it is. But they are also masquerading as what we call an alpha male. And a lot of times with a lot of these individuals, you will have them use BBC or BWC, which stands for Big Black Cut a Cock. And the other one stands for Big White Cut a Talk. Okay? I have to censor myself because I'm posting this on certain platforms. But y'all feel me. And when I see that, I already know what it's going to give. It's giving elements of race play for me, fetishization, and giving chaser vibes. And it's really giving this idea that in order to be a dom, you have to be an alpha male. One of these days, I'm going to talk about what it takes to be a dom, and I'm going to have someone on here to talk about that with me. But if you are a specific type of male, number one, an alpha male does not have to announce himself. Number one, so that's already showing your insecurity, and I can't deal with that. So I encountered this young lad, alpha male, earlier this week. I was on the apps perusing because I said, I'm going to try the apps, be a little thought, be a little hoe during the week. And while I'm on the apps, I get a message from this young lad, and his app read Alpha Top Male BBC. I said, okay, what do we have here? So I start reading his profile, and he said, I don't do anything feminine. I'm total top. I said, oh, okay. So I already knew where this was going. In other words, he doesn't do anything that's deemed bottom activities, such as rimming or eating the booty like groceries or rocking the mic or, slopping on the knob or oral. So I said, you know what? I'm already disinterested. So I'm just gonna just play along with the game and just see where it goes. So we're talking, and he's doing all this machismo, all of this alpha male talk. It's really giving very much. He has swallowed and snorted Kevin Samuels and that Tape Boy and all these other Red Pill podcasts. And I was instantly turned off, of course. So I said, well, do you rock the mic? He was like, no, I don't do anything feminine. I said, that is not anything feminine. That is just something stupid to assert yourself in a gender role that makes no sense. But okay, Toodles, because no. Because for me, since I am a woman that has certain parts, if you don't rock the mic, why are you hitting me up? Especially if it specifies I'm looking for someone who can do that. For real, if you know that my profile says something and you don't do that, why even bother hitting me up? Do you even read? No, they don't. And I ended that conversation and immediately blocked. Now, normally when they say dumb stuff like that, I block. Sometimes I engage because, sometimes I need to hoard some energy for work that I have to do. I need energy to manifest something. So, hey, that's how I do it. I'm not an energy vampire, but honey, if you willingly giving me your energy, baby, I'm going to make use of it. Okay. And now we're going to journey on to the second character that I've run into on the apps. Now, the second character that I've ran into the apps is the chaser type A. And the chaser type A is the chaser that will immediately hit you up with I've never been a trans woman before, I've never been with a trans woman before. Or they may hit you up with, hey beautiful, how are you? I love trans women. And I immediately, when I see them say, hey, sexy, how are you? Hey, beautiful, it's giving chaser vibes. And that's an immediate block because, number one, most of the times they are already taming the dragon while they're speaking to you. They're also basically pick collectors. So when I get people like that, I just refer them to where they can find my merlinmystique.com content. And I direct them to my Twitter, especially if they ask for pictures. Now, I have my albums on the apps and I send my albums. But a lot of times, what they'll do, as soon as they send you the pictures, they'll block you because that's all they really wanted was pictures. And they're chasers. And also with chasers, they can't hold a normal conversation with you. What they'll do is they'll compliment you with how beautiful you are till you get uncomfortable. And they'll start asking you how big things are. And they will start telling you their fantasy and be very specific. And then you may have some that just send you a barrage of pictures and they start with, oh my gosh, you're such a beautiful goddess. I hate those types. I immediately block, return to sender. Now, the third type I will call chaser type B. Chaser type B is the type that they will give you the conversation. They'll treat you like a lady. They'll treat you like royalty. However, sometime after that first date, the fetishization starts. I was on Tinder a couple of years ago, And I met up with this guy, we'll call him Lightning. Lightning was a tall man, bald headed man from across the pond. Great guy, sweet guy. He hit me up and we hit it off. We started talking about music. Come to find out he's a musician, and he had been in a relationship, and it was some things happened because she ended up getting deported or some things like that. And he was just looking for love and everything. Okay, bet. I was low key looking for something at the time, seeing what was out there. It's like, cool. So we agreed to go on a date at one of my favorite places. And I said, well, I'll meet you there because it's not far from me. Because I didn't want him to know where I lived at. I didn't know this man. And I was going to Uber back to my place. That was the plan. So we get to the restaurant. I'm dressed real nice. He's like, oh, wow, you're beautiful. And we hit it off, have a great conversation. I said, well, once the date ended, I said, well, I'm just going to go ahead and call my Uber and go ahead and head home. He said, no, 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 I'll drive you home. I said, are you sure? He was like, yeah. So what I did, I put in an alternate address and had him have him park a little bit further down from where I lived. Cool. We started talking in the car, you know, getting a little touchy feely, sometimes that you may do on a first date. And it went left. It took a left at Albuquerque real quick. He starts kissing me and he immediately starts reaching under my dress. Now, mind you, I enjoyed myself on the date and I did need a real little release, but I was annoyed at how he initiated it. It was like, sir, you could have at least, eased your way into it a little bit better. But I just went with it. I said, you know what, let me get a little quickie, a little fun. Got what I needed, went on. I knew then how I was going to play it. I said, I'll use this as a little fun toy and take whatever perks I can get out of it because it's obviously he may either be looking for a sugar baby or looking for a little plaything that he can take care of. And it is what it is. Nevertheless, I entertained him one more time after that. Went to another restaurant for brunch and we decided we was going to chill at his place, watch some movies, and play some music. We're both nudists anyway, so it's going to be a great time. Get to his place. Of course, we're on our nudist stuff and we started playing some music, showing each other chords. And Lightning and I exchanged some great chords, had some great conversation, and we watched this little horror movie. I can't remember the name of the movie that we watched, but it was real good. It was about um these people that was tripping off of some kind of substance or whatever. And it was a good time. It was a great time. So in the process of watching the movie and finishing the movie, we start getting a little bit of freaky deaky. And he starts rocking the mic. I rock the mic. But when he goes to open up the the treasure, treasure chest that he wanted me to raid, yeah, some rosebuds fell out. And I was none too pleased. And I knew when I first went in, something felt off. And I'm like, I hope this is not what I think it is. So something said, girl, just check yourself. I'm glad I did because when I did, the roses fell out. And I was disgusted. And I tried to work with it, but I couldn't. So I ended up just finishing myself off and just acting like nothing was wrong. And he tried to initiate another date, but I just flat out told him, you really gave me off a certain impression that it was certain things that you didn't do with women such as myself. And just that whole situation made me uncomfortable. And I wish you would have communicated to me what you were into, that you were into that type of stuff. I'm not into that. And just, it, it just turned me off completely. And it was a while before I did anything on Tinder ever again. Not actually till this year did I do another hookup on Tinder. Cause I was scarred. I'm still scarred from that, honey. I'm still repulsed. I be having nightmares about that. I understand that you may be into the whole prolapse thing, but warn me that you're into that so I can make an informed decision, so I can consent to something. Consent is important, people, for real. Now, this fourth type that you will meet, these are the young whippersnappers. Now, the young whippersnappers are 24 to 19. 18 and under, y'all need to be in the bed. Y'all need to be learning your ABCs, okay? If you 19, you don't need to be on the apps. But these young whippersnappers, they're 24 and 24 to 19. They will raid your inbox and be like, "Hey, yo, what's up, sexy? I like a molder. You know, can you teach me something?" Number one, young man, sir, you are too young for me. I can still smell the Enfamil on your breath. I can still smell Gerber on your breath. Baby, you are still wet behind the ears. What am I going to do with you? Baby, the only thing, you can't do nothing for me. You're my little brother. You're my nephew, child. What? No. No. I can tell you where to fill out a job application. I can tell you who hired. I can tell you what schools to go to for college. That's the only thing I can do for you, honey. Like, for real. And whenever they hit me up like that, I tell them, "Sir, you are too young for me, instant block." And I've had some talk to me, "Oh, I'm just looking for older people. I'm looking for guidance." Well, I've told them, be careful on these apps, because there are older people on these apps that do not have your best interests at heart. And because you're young, they will try to run game on you. So, baby, deal with people your own age and get a little bit more wisdom before you try to hang with the big dogs. And as a as an elder in the trans community and in the queer community, it is my job to look out for the younger people, not exploit them. It is our job as elders to look out for these youth, for these young people in community, not prey on them, not use them for our own gain. Baby, just because they are 18 to 25 and you 30 and up don't mean that you should be involved with them in that way. I'm just being plain and simple. And granted, when I was younger, I thought that was cute, but now that I'm older, I know better and I recognize some of the shit that I've been in because I thought I was all grown, but that's another story for another day. Stay away from the young whippersnappers and the young lads. Stay away from the chasers type A and type B, baby. They will ruin your life. Stay away from them. Now, this fifth type, I will refer to as the long distance toad. The long distance toad is the profiles that hit you up. They are like anywhere from 150 to thousands of miles away. And the profile is giving very much spam, or they're just, looking for online play. And what they'll do, they'll say, hey, how big is it? Hey, can I see pictures? Can you send me a video? Immediately, when I look at the profile, and if you are more than 75 miles away, I'm not entertaining you, and I'm not doing that. Like, no, that's wasting my time. Mm-mm. We can plan a public date or something and see what happens, but child, I'm not gonna do all that. No, no, ma'am. And if you want online play, just say that, but don't sit there and ask me for a whole bunch of pictures, because then I'm gonna refer you to where you can find my content. Okay, so we're on fifth types. So the sixth type that I've run into is the "I saw your Twitter type. These are the types that know that if you have an alternative Twitter or if you make content, they've 9 times out of 10 have seen your profile but did not hit you up, and they viewed your Twitter and saw your content to scope you out. And then they will hit you up with, "Hey, gorgeous, how are you? I absolutely love your Twitter and your content. This is my rebuttal. Thank you for watching my content. Please like my content if you haven't already. Subscribe and comment and interact with me there, or interact with me on my Twitter since you brought it up." And they were like, "Oh, well, I just thought that you would be down to link or down to make some content." And I immediately tell them, "I'm sorry. I only make content with other content creators. If you would like to make content with me, I like that, but I would like to have a conversation with you first, meet up with you first, and we kind of talk first and set up the scene. Let's, discuss how we want this set up. And I do require that you sign consent forms as well. And, sign documentation that protects not only me, but that protects you as well. And when I bring that up, they be like, oh, I was just trying to link. Sir, what did you think this was? What did you think this was? Like, for real? And it's annoying when I have people like that in my inbox because it's like, y'all really try to do things the roundabout way. And I talked about this in Dating T for T and why you got to be weird about the things that I have to deal with as a content creator. Now on the apps, on the social media apps, we're going to discuss the seventh type, the lurkers. The lurkers are those blank profiles that view your profile, but they rarely interact. However, they will hit you up and say, hey, and ask about meeting up. Now, as for me in my house, I don't do meetups on purpose. I do everything online, do everything digital because that's how I'm set up. That's what I choose to do. However, I have explicitly said that I don't do meetups. If I do, it is very rare. Very rare. So at this point, I will get messages from lurkers that will ask, do you do meetups? I'm like, did you read my profile? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, then block. Those are also non-readers. Lurkers are also non-readers. They lurk, they look, they just message. They don't read at all. And all of these types, they do not know how to communicate. And my bestie and I were talking, and we have come to the conclusion that there is a certain look that chasers have. A lot of the chasers look unkempt. They look not well groomed, like they don't even attempt to put some type of thought into their image. And I'm not judging anybody because I know people are in different areas of life. But these are mainly people that talk to you about how they can spoil you or the great things they would like to do for you or just how down and dirty they are. But they can't back it up. They have no way of backing it up. And a lot of times they're looking for a BBC, which I recognize that a lot of times when a lot of individuals say they're looking for a BBC or say that they're looking for a BWC, they're doing a thing called sexuation because they are looking at that person of that particular type or race and looking at them for that particular apparatus they that may not have or that they may be insecure about. And they're looking for something to dominate them in that area so they can get that fixed. And in that, they they don't even look at us as human. They look at us as if we're just a piece of meat or as if we're a play toy. I was on Badu a while back and I had a guy. He just hit me up, was like, hey, can I bust up in that tunnel? I was like, no, why not? I don't like your approach, and that's not how you approach a woman. He said, good thing you're not a woman. You're just a sex toy. I said, okay. And since he spoke like that to me, I screenshotted the profile. And yes, your girl posted that because I'm like, sir, whatever job you have, I know you're dealing with women. So I'm going to let people know what type of man that you are. And I did not do that being malicious. I did that to expose a person that could possibly cause harm in spaces for women, for trans people, or for anyone of that matter. Because if they hate women, they hate children, and they hate anybody LGBT. And they're 9 times out of 10 red pill. And I'm just being real. And I want you to check out this video on YouTube called Racialization and the Sexuated Lacanian Subject with Professor Sheldon George. I'm going to put the link to that in the show notes. This is a great video. This talks about the whole BBC phenomena and the fetishization of black bodies. I'm going to rewatch it. I'm going to share my thoughts and review that with you over on the Patreon. So y'all live, love, and be free in all aspects when you go and check out this information. Now, before we go, if you've made it this far in the podcast, please leave me a mermaid emoji and leave me a shout out saying talk to Priestess. And please also comment, what has your experiences been like on the apps? If you like, with your permission, I can put your comment and feature that in the next video or in my future videos. Live, love, and be free from the Priestess. I'm out. Smooches, don't forget, Friday, noon, I Think I Hate My Family, Chapter 2. Smooches.